Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. Look, 2020 has proven to be the year of many things, and the same for 2022. But if you're a small business, this could also be the year you switch to a better payroll. Gusto wasn't just built for small businesses, it was built for the people behind them. Their online payroll is easy to use. Gusto can automatically calculate paychecks and file all your payroll taxes, which means you have more time to run your business. Plus, Gusto does way more than payroll. Gusto helps with time tracking, health insurance, 401ks, onboarding, commuter benefits, offer letters, access to HR experts. You get the idea. It's super easy to set up and get started. If you're moving from another provider, they can transfer all your data for you. It's no surprise that 94% of customers are likely to recommend Gusto. And here's the best part. Because you're a listener to this podcast, you get 3 months totally free. All you have to do is go to gusto.com/compliance. That's gusto.com/compliance. I'm telling you, you're going to love Gusto. Get started today. The Daily Compliance News for October 13, 2021, the Pesky Emails edition. We're going to hold that lead story till the end as we work through some of our other stories, beginning with compliance officers are facing a shifting risk and regulatory landscape, as reported by Jack Hagel, or rather Mingy's son, at the Wall Street Journal Risk and Compliance Journal. According to a survey of compliance professionals by the Wall Street Journal for the Risk and Compliance Forum, they said that 52% of 183 corporate compliance professionals said they've spent significantly more time on regulatory scrutiny this year compared with 29% last year. More compliance officers said the time consumed by supply chain disruption had also dramatically increased over 2020. With these pressures in mind, this year's upcoming Risk and Compliance Forum will look at how compliance officers are having to rethink their role, which now also encompasses an increased emphasis on ESG. Compliance officers are trying to navigate these new requirements. Next up, PG&E is the latest company to fall afoul of shareholder activism as they pressure the company to bring an environmentalist on board and to handle to help change the company's handling of climate issues. They elected a person nominated to specifically head this. So a lot of pressure from PGE investors and even heirs of the company over deforestation. Next up, the former director of the World Bank, Kristalina Georgieva, it looks like she's going to stay on with the International Monetary Fund, even though she allegedly attempted to change a World Bank doing business report. So you can only say that her credibility is significantly damaged. And now we're going to turn to our lead story, which is John Gruden. John Gruden resigned Monday night after a trove of emails were uncovered in an unrelated NFL investigation where he used extraordinarily insensitive racial, homophobic, and misogynist language against a wide variety of people up and down the league, including league owners, the commissioner, the head of the NFL Players Association, various NFL players, female referees, the attempt by the NFL to make football safer through its concussion protocols, and those who protested alongside Colin Kaepernick. The emails were very, very bad. I've read most of them that have been reported. I blogged about it today, so if you want more thoughts on it. But it really speaks to an entire football league where culture is very broken, and the next steps to see how they fix it are going to be critical for the league. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.